Hello, family! It is so good to be back in front of the camera. I know for you guys, this probably doesn't seem like I haven't been in front of the camera for a while, but for me, it has. And can I be honest? I miss this. I miss it every time. I don't know what it is. There's something about not being on the camera for a long period of time that makes me feel like something's missing from my life. So anyways, hi. Welcome to my home. I'm Ashley, and I'm about everything cozy, living a cozy lifestyle, whatever that may be for you. This is what it is for me. I love books. I am trying to get back into reading, and so I'm so glad you're here today. I hope you stay for longer than this video. If not, that's okay, but I would love for you to join the fam and subscribe. So before I get into the books that I have, I definitely want to quickly talk about two graphic novels that I have read and that I enjoyed. One of them is manga, one of them is a graphic novel, is The Tea Dragon Society. This is a super cozy, thin, enjoyable, cutesy book. Our main character ends up learning a little bit more about tea dragons and becoming interested in learning on how to prepare tea and everything that goes with it, from taking care of the dragons themselves to creating the tea. And so I picked this up. I love the art. The art was definitely something that caught me, and I've read the author's other book, which is Aquacorn Cove. So I love the art. I had to grab it. It's super cute, easy light read, something for just quickly getting in a graphic novel, something very fanciful, and I love the colors. So if that is something you are looking for, definitely check out the Dragon Tea Society. This next one is a manga, and it is the first manga I've purchased ever, and it is a BL. If you do not know what BL is, it stands for boy love, and that's all I'm going to say about that. You can Google the rest. But I actually saw someone talking about this manga on TikTok before the ban and it went away and it came back. This is called Tied to You, and it is amazing. First of all, it is in color. Traditionally manga isn't in color, but this one is. That's one of the main driving forces why I wanted to buy from this specific brand, which I believe is called Izzy. This one, they specifically make their manga in color, and so I absolutely loved it. It is exactly what I wanted it to be and what I needed it to be, and I already got the second book, guys. I wasn't gonna wait. I think there are 4 books out. I'm not exactly sure. I think there's 4 in total. So we have our main character who is in love with his friend, his childhood friend. They grew up together. This childhood friend has a brother. Not really interested in the brother. But in this society, at a specific time in your life, if you run into your soulmate, a red tie or red string will show on your finger, letting you know that you have now bumped into, you have to physically touch them, your soulmate. Well, our main character, ends up finding out he has a red string tie up on his finger, and he realizes it's not the person that he's madly in love with, which is his friend. Secretly, he's been loving and longing for all this time. It's the older brother. Okay, yeah, hold on, wait. But then the other part of it is, if you do not physically, just lay in a bed next to this person who also has the red tie, that is your soulmate, you cannot sleep. It can't happen. You have to literally lay in the same bed with them. So our homie tries to keep it a secret, right? Because he doesn't want any chances of his love, who he wants to be in love with, to find out he's got somebody else out there. Also, he knows it's the brother, but he's hoping the older brother doesn't know. Well, the older brother is smart and ends up finding out. So now both of them are trying to figure out how to deal with this and not let the younger brother know, keep it a secret, continue with their regular lives, and not get any further tied up in this. No pun intended. So this was super cute. If you can get your hands on this, if this is up your alley, I highly suggest it. All right, so we're gonna get into some of the books that I have finished reading. So of course, the first one is The Spellshop. I finished this last year. I'm not sure if I made a video on it or not, but it is exactly what you would think it is. It is cozy, it is lighthearted, there's a little bit of romance in it, one finding family, one found family, finding yourself. It is about a librarian in this city where she finds herself in a situation where she needs to escape from the city and make her way back to her island where she is from. She finds her way there, but because she cares so much about books, her and her companion Kaz end up bringing some books along with them, which is kind of illegal. They're not allowed to leave the library, these books, but she does it because the library was burning down and she felt like this was the best decision she could make as someone who works in the library and loves knowledge, loves the magic in these books, and cares about the books themselves. But what I really enjoy about this book is the magic system. I enjoyed seeing her character grow, as well as her friend Kaz. And I'm sorry, but I am Kaz. Kaz is me. We are Kaz. Like, Kaz was hilarious. He brought the humor. He was hilarious. For a plant, for a magical plant, the sarcasm, the wittiness, I loved it. So that book is super, super good. If you're looking for something super light, super slow, it is not fast, chill, check it out. So I wanted something a little bit different because, guys, I'm still trying to figure out what genres I like. So I am willing to read a book in every genre, every subgenre that piques my interest. And so I was like, why wouldn't I want to read about serial killers who kill other serial killers, and there's a romance in it and it's also spicy? So I found myself with Butcher and Blackbird, very much suggested by the TikTok girls. And I will say this, spice is not for me. It doesn't bother me if it's in the book, but not 2 chapters of it. And this was definitely like 2 chapters of spice. And so I think I would like spice, like, you know, trickled in here and there, or none at all. I'm okay with none at all. But as far as the spice factor, I don't think this is my world, but I can get why the girlies love it. The storyline was okay. I could not get into it until I did the audiobook. I will say that. The audiobook is probably better than just reading it. I loved that they did have two people do the voices of the main characters, but I did not give this one a lot of stars just because the storyline it really wasn't that intriguing. Like, it was funny. There were funny parts. I laughed. There were parts where I was like, oh no, what's gonna happen next? But I finished it, you know? I didn't hate it. It wasn't for me, and I'm okay with that. And I'm glad I tried that. So if you are into spice, if you are into serial killers killing other serial killers and them becoming probably like a romantic romance, then this would probably be for you. And I know there's a second book, and I'm not gonna get it. I'm just not interested. But you might be. That's okay. Before I read that one, I read this, which was Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I finally finished it. I also did this in audio, just because I am an audiobook girly. I'm starting to find out, but I also am a have it in my hand girly. So some of my books I will also get audiobook. Before the Coffee Gets Cold, I really like this. This is a translated book. The author is Japanese, so you can tell the culture and everything because it's not written in the United States. I highly suggest anybody who's reading to make sure you read authors who either don't look like you or who are not American. Like, get into the space and the head and the lives and the imagination of other people. If you can get your hand on like global literature, please do that, because I'm so glad I did. And it's just really a cozy, simple, straightforward book, but it has a touch of like reminiscing and longing and hoping for. This book is literally a coffee shop that there's one specific table that has one specific chair that can take you back in time. There are several catches to it though. The first catch is you can go back in time, but you can only do it once. You can't ever do it again. It has to be to see someone who has literally visited the shop. You can't leave the chair once you're in it, and you have to drink your cup of coffee before it goes cold, if it goes cold and you have not gone back. So it's really interesting to see. We follow different stories of people who eventually decide to go back, and nothing changes. Nothing will change when you go back. There's no way of changing anything. Things will still stay the same, but reasonings, the heart behind it, relationships, saying things you wish you would have said, expressing yourself in a way you wish you would have expressed yourself, understanding people differently from a different viewpoint. It's just really good. I appreciated this work, and if that is something that you like, seeing people come to have peace with the decisions that they've made, and really in some of these stories finding themselves better than who they thought they were before, this is for you. It's for you. This next one is, like I said, I'm trying reading books across the genres because I'm not being picky right now. How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying. I love this book. I enjoyed it so much. It did take me a second to really get into the main character. Our main character, she is stuck in this time loop. She is stuck in this world that is not exactly like our world. There's humans, and then there's other creatures. There's a kind of a magic system involving stones and crystals that you can either use powers from, or you can digest if you are a wild, and wild are these creatures that look like different mythical animals or regular animals, but talk and, function just like me and you. And she's stuck in this loop where she gets killed and she just respawns right at the beginning. The problem I had with this book is Davi, I could not get into her personality. And then I looked up the author because I was like, why is this female character the way this female character is? And I think it's fair to say at this point, I don't know that I like when male authors write female characters. It was really hard for me to just connect with this book for like a good minute. And then someone said, oh, just imagine it's like Deadpool. And then it just made sense to me, and it made it so much easier to read, understanding that is the personality of Davi, or Davy. I've been saying Da, but maybe it's Davy. That is her personality. She is legit Deadpool. Like, there is a lot of crude humor. Davi is like, she is a sexual being, and she talks about it, and we love her for it. But she's also a badass. She also knows what she wants and what she's going after. Nothing's gonna stop her from getting it. And I enjoyed the other characters that are in here, the relationships that are built, how she builds her horde of minions. I really, really did like this. I laughed a lot. Cliff notes are super important. There are cliff notes because there are a lot of pop culture references in this, and like little jokes and inside jokes. And so all the notes at the bottom are to connect you to that, so you can better understand Davy's like humor and how she is. So that's super important. I thought it was hilarious. I liked it. I actually liked reading the little notes at the bottom and everything to connect to the joke, and it just made me feel like I was more in her head. If having notes at the bottom is not for you, I would not read this book. You're not gonna like it. But for me, it just worked well with my brain. There is a second book. I don't know yet if I really want to invest in reading a second book, but I like this. I would have been fine if it ended here, to be honest. but it was good. I laughed. She had me laughing. Before I get into the 2 books that I am currently reading right now and enjoying very much, I just wanted to say, if you are watching this, thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you for clicking like. Thank you for commenting if there was a book that you read, or your opinion or your thought or anything like that. And I definitely want to thank you if you have subscribed. I am working really hard on putting forth my effort into this channel, as well as another channel I have, which is mainly focused on mental and emotional health, and every little bit counts. Every click and like counts. I put a lot of heart and soul into this, and I have so much fun making these videos. I have so much fun talking to you guys and creating something for you to enjoy, whether that's you're watching for information just to laugh with me, or if you are watching to have something playing in the background. Whatever your reason is, thank you so much for clicking on this, and I appreciate you so much, and I just want to send you tons of love. All right, so these next 2 books are the books that I'm currently reading, enjoying, and wanted to share with you guys. So I had a video, like, these books were up here. They were wrapped. This is my bookshelf. And I had the Ancillary Justice. And so I'm currently reading it. I think I'm on chapter 8 or 9 right now. I had to get the audiobook, my friends, because I was fine reading it, but I just was like, I really want to do dishes and clean and also read this story, because I don't always have the time to just sit. So this was another audiobook friend for me, just because I was like, I need to continue reading, but I can't always sit down and hold this book and read it. If you don't know, this is about a spaceship, a spaceship that has ancillaries, which is like mini bodies. They're all connected, kind of like a beehive mentality kind of thing. They all see and hear and know where each other are. But this story starts with just one of the ancillaries, and we don't know where their other bodies are, and we are trying to figure out why they're on this desolate ice planet, what they're doing, what their goal is, and what's about to take place, what's going to go down. I will say Breck is our main character, our ancillary, like our homie, plays no game. Like, and I love that. So this is definitely, I wanted to get into sci-fi. This is my first sci-fi book, and I'm happy that I picked this. I was worried about getting into this because I was like, okay, how much science talk is there gonna be? Like, how, I didn't open up and look at it. I just was like, the premise sounds great. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna challenge myself. I'm not gonna say no and scare myself out of reading a really good book and having a really good relationship with the book. So I was worried about it, but it's not that bad. I wish I could read through it faster, but there's so many names, and then there's so many like different cultures that I do have to like make sure that I am remembering so I can understand what's going on. That is got me a little bit in the beginning, but honestly, it's not that bad, and I'm enjoying every bit of it, and I'm excited to see where this goes. And I know there are how many other books? 4? Sheesh. But I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm all about revenge. I figured out what homie wants to do, and I'm all about a main character that's out for revenge. So we will see what happens in this. Let me know if you're reading this, and don't forget, if you have Fable, find me. I'll have the information or the QR code somewhere so we can hang out, and as I'm reading through the book and stuff, I can see what you're reading, you can see what I'm reading, we can comment on each other's stuff and hang out. Okay, we are on the last book, and the last book is super near and dear to my heart, and I'm going to read this slow. And it is poems selected by Langston Hughes. It is a classic collection of poems by a master of American verse. I love Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes was my first introduction into poetry in middle school, I believe. And between him and Maya Angelou, those two are my main poet people. I don't know I don't really know anybody else. Like, I know names out there, but I don't know them. Like, I don't know them like I know Links. Like, I know Links, you know? And I felt like this year needed to be a year that I got back into poetry. I also want to get back into finding literature, romance or love letters. I've got my eyes on a few things I want to read, but I really wanted to just get back into poetry and dive into it. I want to dip my own hand and my own creative flow into writing poetry. I used to do that as well. You know, high school and college, be taking the winds out of your sails for some things, you know? Like, I loved writing, I loved reading, I loved all these things, and it just became a chore and became too. I was being told what to do, and then I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for the assignment, but I'm not gonna do it for joy because boo. So anyways, if you have been holding out on trying or dipping your hand into something that you maybe put down in a couple of years ago, or you put down back in grade school or college because you just, life happens, take the time to stick your hand right back out and snatch that back, because we're not getting any younger. Time is not going to be given back to us. So I'm not going to leave or live being like, yeah, I did this back then. I wish I would have. I don't want to do I wish. I am. So I am reading poetry. I am writing and practicing writing my own poetry because it's just another artistic outlet for me. It is also a meditative outlet. There's a flow to it, and it's just nice to practice writing again. I used to be a journaler. I got out of that. I'm getting back into that. So there's several things this year I feel is going to be full of just learning myself again and reconnecting to those things that bring out certain parts of me that maybe haven't had the space to escape or to show up in the way that it fully wants to. And maybe one of these outlets it will. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm super excited. After I get through this baby, I definitely want to get Maya Angelou's and read through all her work. I'm excited for this, guys. If you have any other Black poets or poets that are people of color, let me know in the comments below, because I would love it. I would love it. And I'm bilingual, so if si saben poets que hablan español, me dices, I will do that too. That will help me with my Spanish, and that way I can read poetry in Spanish like that. Like, Spanish is already a romantic language. What do you mean I can quote things in Spanish? Like, oh, y'all, that's gonna be such a flex. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed your time. I always have a pleasure when you come by and you hang out with me in my home, and I hope you have a great time too. And with that being said, guess what? I'm going to see you in the next video, because you're going to hit subscribe and we're going to be besties, and we're going to talk about all kinds of things. I have a lot of things going on this page. Find what works for you and settle in and get cozy. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.